Hello and welcome back to Goal Score. Today I've got my early 2025-26 Premier League predictions. Remember, I said early predictions, not the official ones. So today we're going to be having a quick look at midway through pre-season. If I was to make the predictions today, where would I put each side? Of course, still a long way to go in pre-season. Transfer window still open, of course, so many factors, so these are going to change before I make my official predictions, probably in about 2 weeks' time for the Premier League. As always, if you're going to enjoy, drop a like and subscribe, and let's get predicting the Premier League for the 2025-26 season. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, there's definitely going to be a lot of these that you disagree with. But of course, just let me know your predictions in the comments instead of being toxic. That's the way to go. Right, let's get predicting. Okay then, so we're going to begin with the newly promoted sides. Of course, we've got Leeds, we've got Burnley, and of course we've got Sunderland back in the Premier League this season. They are the newly promoted sides, and going into the season, the first ambition for them is always going to be to survive relegation, and so far Leeds, for me, I haven't seen enough movement. Burnley, for me, I haven't seen enough movement. But Sunderland look good, and they're going to be on the verge of 17th or 18th. I mean, if we're going to see one of the promoted sides at least stay up, we're going to have to see someone have a dreadful year, most likely. That usually stays up in the Premier League, of course, because it's been the same core 17 teams, sorry, for some time now, and that's getting a bit boring now, which is why the Premier League is falling off a little bit. It's not what we want to see. We want to see a little bit of variety and make everyone's place up for grabs in the Premier League, and yeah, make it a bit more interesting, and hopefully that cycle breaks soon, because at the moment it's been really boring. But for me, Leeds at the moment, I haven't seen much activity from them. I've seen they've signed Sean Langstaff from Newcastle, and that's not going to keep them up. Burnley has signed Carl Walker. That's a really nice signing, but once again, they're going to need to do a little bit more than that. For Sunderland, they're trying to get Granit Xhaka. I mean, that's just the calibre of player they're trying to bring in. They've also brought in Simon Adingra from Brighton. That is a sensational move. And at the moment, Sunderland are going to be a really, really tough team to play against. All of these are, but I feel like Sunderland at the moment have got the best squad and the best chance of staying up. Let's move on to the next team. Straight away, we're going to do this in a random order. Chelsea. They will finish in the Champions League under Enzo Maresca. I think I said it last season in the prediction video. This is the first year of doing early predictions, so nothing set in stone here. I did say Enzo Maresca is a great coach. I liked what he did at Leicester. The year he got them the title. Then he jumped ship last summer to Chelsea. Got them in the Champions League. They've just won the Club World Cup. Champions League football next year for Chelsea, and in the Premier League they've got to step it up a little bit now, because the last few years, excluding the year that's just finished, they have been a bit poor. So it's time now to step back up for Chelsea, but they will finish in a Champions League spot. I'm almost certain of it. Likewise with City, I don't think they win the Premier League. They will finish above Chelsea though. Liverpool as well. They're in a title race with Arsenal. And Spurs will finish in the Champions League as well. You might not have been expecting that one. So at the moment I've got... Well, we'll keep them two there for the moment. I do think City... I don't know, I just feel like City won't do it this year either. They'll probably get third place this year. Chelsea fourth, and Spurs fifth. We'll come up to who wins the league in a second as of now. But straight away I want to put Newcastle in Europa League spot. They will have a good year once again. They seems to be that top 8 finish almost every year now for Newcastle, if not top 6. But of course the usual top 6 now isn't really that, because I mean Man United have just fallen off, and Newcastle sort of swapping in for them. But of course in terms of like the biggest clubs, United are certainly that in the Premier League. So far then, of course we've done the interesting spots. Arsenal or Liverpool, who will win the league is a debate will settle towards the end of the video. But looking down the table, looking at the sides we've got left, of course these are going to fill in the mid-table sides. Straight away, I'm worried for Brentford, so we're going to put them in that lower mid-table position. Who else am I worried about? Not so worried about Wolves, but I do think that it could be a struggling season, just like West Ham. And all the other sides I do think finish above them. Forest are a side where, of course, they've got European football this season. Is Gibbs White going to move on? Alanga's already moved on. It could impact their Premier League finish for Nottingham Forest. I'm not too sure where to put them at the moment. If I'm honest, they could easily finish 8th, 9th, 10th, or finish towards the bottom end and be in a relegation scrap. Because of the impacted football. I don't think it will be the latter, if I'm completely honest, but it could be. That's for sure. We're going to move on now to West Ham, who we've put in this section just for a moment, with Brentford and Wolves and Sunderland, who we've already spoken about. But West Ham under Graham Potter didn't really end last season too well. They got a few okay results towards the end, but not convincing. And they've let Kudus go to Spurs, which is an interesting move. But Potter's got to get it right now at West Ham, because there's a lot of pressure on him, I feel, to deliver something. As the Wolves, I really like Vito Pereira as a manager. I feel like I don't think they'll go down. If there's a side to go down, if I'm honest, I think it'll probably be Brentford. If it's not the traditional three, come up, three go down sort of thing like we've seen in the last 2-3 years. I feel like Brentford could be the ones to slip. They have just signed John Henderson, which is a really nice deal. A lot of it will come down to if they can keep Wissa and who they replace Mbeumo with as well. Of course, we've seen Norgard leaving for Arsenal as well, which is a big sale for Brentford. They have signed Kelleher though, which is a big signing. I mean, Liverpool's cup keeper, especially Carabao Cup, did really well, and I'm glad he's got a good move, because he did deserve a #1 spot at the Premier League club. He's definitely good enough. Moving on then, we've got the usual suspects now for the mid-table. Who's going to push up? Well, of course, everyone's going to make a case for Villa to be in that 7th spot. I think they'll be around there. We'll put them there for a moment just so we can get the teams off the bottom and into some sort of order to rejiggle around. They will finish in the top 10 though, Aston Villa. Unai Emery, solid manager. Champions League football last season, they had a really good go at it as well, I think it's fair to say. In Europe again next season, I'm pretty sure Aston Villa. Yeah, so far I haven't seen too many incomings from Aston Villa in the transfer window, but last season they did, sign a few players on loan, the likes of Asensio. Rashford come in on loan, made a few signings on permanence, like some Matson, I'm pretty sure it was last summer as well, etc., to add to their squad depth. So it's already a really nice squad there. They sold John Duran in January, I think it was, as well. So they've already made quite a few moves. Apparently they've still got to sell a few more. Emi Martinez being linked to Man United is one that I've seen pop up a few times, but nothing else to believe that he's actually going to go as of yet. But there's a really good squad there at Aston Villa, and they really should be in the top 8 this season. Moving on then, we got Bournemouth. I think they will be in the same sort of category as Forest this season. Of course, they come up to the Premier League together. They've stayed up together, and since they've been promoted together, they've stayed in the Premier League together and always finished in a similar position, haven't they? Bournemouth and Forest. I think the same will happen this year. They've both lost this summer some important players. Kirke's leaving for Bournemouth, of course, is one of the biggest ones. They'll be delighted that Semenyo signed a long-term contract now to stay. Man United was sniffing around in a few other Premier League clubs as well, so they'll be delighted with that. Huson, of course, went to Real Madrid as well, which is a huge sale. Kepa gone to Arsenal after his loan expired from Chelsea to Bournemouth. So they've got to make a few signings now. They're trying to get Petrovic, isn't it, from Chelsea. Not too sure on that one. He's not really had the time in the Premier League, like someone like Kepa Arrizabalaga has, to really prove himself as a top keeper. Only time will tell though for Bournemouth. I do like the direction they're going in as a club, but I just feel that this season might be a bit like last season, the similar finish, which isn't bad, they're staying in the Premier League as well. Moving on to Brighton, we'll put them here. They could easily swap with Villa though. Brighton, just an exciting club, aren't they? Just an exciting club with a lot going for them. Young manager, doing really well after last season as well. Apart from that 7-0 defeat to Forest, apart from that, it was a really good year for Brighton. Some really, really talented players there at the Amex. And yeah, there's no worry about them finishing it anywhere down here. They will be at least up there this season. Moving on, then we'll go to Man United. I know everyone's waiting for me to put these somewhere, but I can see them finishing 12th this season, if I'm honest. And I actually feel like I don't want to undermine United, but that would be an okay finish for what are these days standards at Man United, which is a real shame to say because look how far the club's fallen off from the glory days. I mean, 15 years ago, Man United were like the best club in the world and one of the most well-known clubs in the world. These days, they're just one of them too, and it's certainly not the best club in the world, which they need to fix because a club like Man United, I mean, everyone knows of Man United, everyone's heard of Man United. There's no way they should be in the mid-table. They have to be at least, I mean, in a poor year, here, I mean, to be high mid-table, not good enough. Last season wasn't good enough. Losing out to Spurs in the final of a cup competition as well didn't help them either. Moving on, we are going to put, just to balance it out here, Brentford into the bottom three because I do feel like they really could go down this year, and I don't see West Ham or Wolves going down if I'm honest. So Leeds bottom for now, Burnley 19th, Brentford 18th, 17th Sunderland, 16th Wolves, 15th West Ham. We've still got, of course, 2 more teams to put into here, and straight away we're going to put in Everton as the 13th club to finish 13th, and 14th position. It's a tricky one because I do feel like Palace and Fulham finish higher, so we're going to drop down Bournemouth or Forest. We're going to drop down Forest because especially if they lose Gibbs White, that could be a huge sale. And I don't feel like there's many Gibbs White's replacements out there ready for Forest just to snatch up. I've heard James McCarthy's name thrown around, the ManCity player, but he's not quite ready for a club like Forest yet, in my opinion, to fill the Gibbs White role. So I'd say Forest dropped down quite considerably in the table this year. Of course, there's still a long way to go in the transfer window, so this is why these are only my early predictions, not my final predictions, because of course there's a long way to go. But no, I do at this moment in time I can see Forest finishing here. 13th Everton, 12th United, 11th will put in Crystal Palace to finish below Bournemouth, 10th Bournemouth, 9th Brighton or Fulham, 8th and 9th. I think Fulham go 9th, Brighton 8th, 7th Villa, 6th Newcastle, and now the champions, Arsenal for me. And is there anything else we're going to change? I do feel like it's Arsenal's year. I mean, Liverpool have spent a lot of money. They've got the likes of Dumfries in, Florian Wirtz in. They're trying to get a deal for Alexander Isak in, which is, if they get him, then they will win the league. But as it stands, Arsenal, they're looking to get Gyökeres Eze as well. They've just signed Madueke. I think there's another player missing out who they're looking to sign. But one of the best windows up there with Liverpool in the Premier League this season, this summer that we've seen. And it could be enough. I feel like Arsenal, there's only so many times you can come second without actually winning the league, and this might finally be their year. I don't think City win it. I feel like Chelsea could become a surprise package, but at the same time, I don't quite think they're that far ahead on their journey under Maresca to go and win it. City, Liverpool, and Arsenal will be the three-horse race, I think. So as it stands, I've got Arsenal winning the league, Liverpool second, City third, Chelsea fourth, and Spurs in fifth. Making up the Europa League and the Conference League, Newcastle and Aston Villa, which could be swapped out by the time I do my predictions for either Brighton or Fulham. I really do think Fulham could maybe step it up a bit this season. Bournemouth, Palace, and then Man United in 12th, which is mental to say, but here we are. It's 2025, and United have completely fallen off, which is it's not great for the Premier League or football really. They should be here, but they're not this season in my early predictions. Everton are a side that I think they could maybe swap in and out with Bournemouth. I don't know, there's something about Everton there. I think maybe there's potential there for them to really go and smash it this season. But maybe that change will have to be made in my official Premier League predictions. 13th for Everton, 14th for Forest at the lowest. I can see them finishing there. 15th West Ham, 16th Wolves, 17th Sunderland stay up. Brentford going down with Burnley and Leeds. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. They are my early Premier League predictions for the 2025-26 season. As you can tell, I did not plan this video out. I will plan out my actual predictions for the official ones. I will have some cool graphics on the screen and everything like that. But for a quick top of the head idea, this currently is what I'm thinking for the Premier League next season. Let me know your thoughts. There's definitely going to be a lot of these that you disagree with. The bold ones definitely are Arsenal. Maybe Spurs making the Champions League after finishing 17th last season. That is a very bold pick, to be fair, when you put it like that. I just think Thomas Frank is, you know, I don't like him as a person, but once again as a manager, he is a very good manager. I think he'll be at Spurs for a few years. Saying that though, a lot of managers go to Spurs wanting to be there for a few years, and very few end up being there for a few years, as is the structure and the pressure and everything that comes with being a Tottenham Hotspur manager. Newcastle or Villa could sneak into that 5th place if Spurs do bottle it, but I do think Spurs have a good year this year. Last year they had so many injuries and still walked away with a trophy, which was not bad at all, and got far in the Carabao Cup, didn't they? Higher mid-table, of course, speaks for itself. I feel like there's some really nice sides in there. Man United being another standout one, but I think that's a pretty reasonable prediction for Man United these days. I can't get my head around that. Forest is another shock, Sunderland the other, and Brentford the final one. So let me know what you think about it in the comments, and let me know your top 5, bottom 3, and any in the middle that are a big surprise package. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one very soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye.